Okay, here we are at your spreadsheet, and what I'm looking at is April to June 17. These are other worksheets in here. You probably know this already. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of names to the spreadsheet. So we'll go over here to the name column and scroll down or click on this and then scroll down, and we'll scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay, so now we're at the bottom, and what we'll do is we'll select two rows. So there's one row selected. You hit the shift key and select the other row. Now you see that those rows are kind of narrow. So what we can do is go up here to the size of font. It's an Arial and it's 10 point, but we're using a 24 point font. So we'll click on that, and now we have the proper spacing. Now we need to be able to put in the grid lines. So we go over here to the borders, and we can select that as all borders right here. Click on that, and now we've got our borders. So you can come back and we'll put in John Doe. No, let's do it the way that in the format they have it. It's Doe, comma, John, and we'll put in Jane Doe. Oops. Doe. Notice that it realized that John Doe was already there, but we want Jane Doe. Okay, so we've got both of those. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to put all the names in alphabetical order. So we scroll back up to the top, and we move the cursor up to where this arrow is pointing. And you click on that, and that will select the entire column. Now that we have the column selected, then you go over to the sort and filter function, and we click on that, and we want to do a sort A to Z. So we'll click on that, sort, and it's going to come up with a warning because we've only sorted on what we've selected, but it says continue with the current selection, so that's what we want to do. We just want to go with the current selection and not the expanded selection. So click on that, click on sort, and now let's go down and check and see where there they are. There's Doe, comma Jane, and Doe, comma John. So that's all there is to adding people to it. Now let's say that we wanted to remove a couple of people. So we'll go over here, and let's say we're going to remove these two people, Sandra Block and Anita Bocher. So all you have to do is click, there we go, click on the on that row, and then right click, and then select delete, and she's out of there. And the same thing with Anita Bocher. So we right click and delete, and they're out of there. Now we really don't want them out of there, so what we can do is we can go back up here to this undone, and now that she's back, Anita Bocher's back, and Sandra Block is back. So that way you can kind of practice and see how things are going. Now another thing you have to be mindful of is as far as these headings go and where the page breaks are. So you see here's another heading because this is where the next page starts. You can tell where the next page starts by going to View and then going to Page Break Preview. So you click on Page Break Preview, scroll down, And what you'll see is this is page 1. There's the heading, but right at the heading there is a dashed line that goes across the whole spreadsheet, and that is the page break at that point. As you continue to scroll down, you'll see page 2, and when you get to the bottom, then there it is. Now, how do you know where the next page starts? Well, one of the ways you can do that is you can go to File and then Print, and you will see that here is your spreadsheet. Now this is page 1, and it's one of 2, so here's the second page right there, and you can see that you do have space for many more entries in there. So now we'll go back and go back to normal again, and there you are. Next time we can do adding the months for the next quarter if you want. Okay, that's all there is to adding and removing people.